Hi everyone, and welcome back to Relationship Reset Academy. I'm Michael Flynn, and I've been helping couples navigate the ups and downs of marriage for over 15 years. If you're watching this, chances are you're facing one of the hardest moments of your life. Your husband says it's over. It's a gut-wrenching statement, and it leaves you feeling lost, confused, and uncertain about what comes next. In today's video, we'll be walking through what you can do when your marriage feels like it's slipping away. I'll share actionable steps, important insights, and a new perspective that can help you navigate this difficult time and possibly rebuild what feels broken. And make sure to stay with me until the end, where I'll give you a powerful tool to help you communicate better with your husband and gain clarity on what's really happening. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an important relationship tip. Now, let's get into it. Step 1. Understand the situation. Okay, so let's break it down. You're sitting there, possibly in shock, and your husband says it's over. That's a gut punch moment, no doubt about it. It's like the world stops spinning for a second, and all you hear is the cold, hard truth that your marriage could be ending. But I want you to take a deep breath, because the fact that he's saying this doesn't necessarily mean the end. It might just be the beginning of a much-needed conversation. Here's the thing, relationships go through seasons. Sometimes we hit rough patches, sometimes they're longer than others, and sometimes, one partner feels like they've hit a breaking point. What's really important to understand is that when someone says, "It's over," they are likely feeling overwhelmed by frustration, hurt, or even confusion. It doesn't mean that they've stopped loving you. It just means that something has broken down between the two of you, and they don't know how to fix it. Now, before you start bombarding him with questions like, "What do you mean? How can you say that? Is there someone else?" You've got to hold off. Take a step back and take a breath. I know it's hard. Every instinct in your body might be telling you to fix it immediately, but trust me when I say that when emotions are running high, the answers you get might not be the real answers you need. Right now, your first task is clarity. Try to understand what led to this moment. Was this something that happened overnight, or has it been building over time? Relationships don't just crumble out of nowhere. There are usually small signs and issues along the way that you may not have fully acknowledged or dealt with. Maybe it's been months or even years of unresolved issues, miscommunication, or feelings that weren't being expressed openly. One thing that I've seen time and time again in my years of experience is that couples often get into a pattern of assuming they know how the other feels, but in reality, they're both holding on to their own frustrations without saying a word. That's where things get tricky. If your husband has said it's over, there's a good chance that this has been building for a while. But here's the good news. Knowing this can help you get the clarity you need. So, now's the time to step into the listening mode, not the reacting mode. Don't respond with anger or fear. Instead, ask yourself, what am I really hearing here? Is he just venting, or is he genuinely saying goodbye? I want you to listen to the why behind his words. And if you're not sure what the root cause is yet, don't worry, it's okay to ask him when things cool off. Step 2. Take a step back. Alright, now that you've got a better sense of where things stand, let's talk about taking a step back. This might sound counterintuitive. Your instinct is probably screaming at you to do something, anything, to fix things right now. But here's the hard truth. If you try to jump in and fix everything when emotions are running hot, you're not going to get the results you want. Let's talk about why space is so crucial here. When people are in pain, whether it's hurt, anger, or fear, those emotions take over, and all rational thought kind of gets drowned out by the noise. This means that whatever you say or do in that moment is less likely to be well received. Trying to solve problems in this emotional state rarely works. In fact, it usually makes the situation worse. You'll both get caught in a whirlwind of blame, accusations, and defensiveness, and before you know it, you're both more confused and hurt than you were at the beginning. So, what do you do instead? You give each other space. Not in the sense of ignoring each other, but in the sense of stepping back and pausing for a little bit. Let your emotions settle. Let his emotions settle. You might feel a pull to just fix it now, but I promise you, This moment of pause will make it easier for you both to find the right path forward. Think of it as a timeout, not a retreat. When we're in emotional overwhelm, everything seems like a big deal. We can't see the small solutions in the chaos. But when we give ourselves space to breathe, to think, and to reflect, we can start seeing the problem from a new angle. And that's when the real work can begin. During this time, I encourage you to do some self-reflection. Ask yourself, what's really going on in this relationship? What needs to change? Is there a communication breakdown? Are both of you feeling neglected? Are you both holding on to past hurts? Getting clear on these things will give you a solid foundation to rebuild from. Step 3. Communicate effectively. Alright, once you've both had some time to cool off and you're ready to talk, it's time to communicate. But this is critical. You can't just have any conversation. You need to have a productive conversation. And if you want it to be productive, there are a few rules you've got to follow. First, it's important to keep the tone calm and neutral. This isn't the time for accusations or trying to make him feel guilty. I know it's tempting, especially when you feel hurt or betrayed, but that's only going to shut the conversation down. The goal here is not to attack, it's to understand and to share your feelings in a way that's respectful to both of you. Remember, you're a team, not enemies. So, how do you get that conversation started? You start with questions, not statements. I want you to approach this conversation with curiosity, not anger. Ask him about his feelings. Why does he feel this way? What's been going on in his mind? What has he been struggling with? These aren't gotcha questions, they're opportunities for you to understand his perspective. And when you understand where he's coming from, it'll be much easier to navigate a solution. It's also crucial that you listen, not just hear, but really listen. Often, we're so focused on responding or defending ourselves that we don't actually listen to what the other person is saying. So, when he opens up, give him the space to speak. Show him that you care about what he's saying. Validate his feelings, even if you don't fully agree with them. And while you're listening, don't just focus on fixing things. Right now, it's about hearing each other out. This isn't a race to the finish line, it's about genuinely understanding each other's needs, frustrations, and emotions. When you both feel heard, you'll have a better foundation for making changes together. You might be thinking, what if he's just too far gone? What if there's no coming back from this? Well, that's where the next part comes in, taking action. But before you jump to that step, I want you to check out romancedictionary.com/marriage. There are some really effective strategies there that can help you communicate in a way that fosters understanding and connection. Step 4. Take action, but slowly. Okay, now we're getting into the part where things really start moving. You've had the conversation, you've listened, and you understand more about what's going on. But here's the thing, action is what will bring real change. But, and this is so important, you can't rush it. Change takes time, especially in a relationship that's hit a rough patch. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you need to wait years for things to get better. But you do need to take consistent, small actions to rebuild trust, rekindle connection, and work through the issues. And when I say small, I mean starting with the basics. You're not going to fix everything overnight. And trying to do so is going to feel overwhelming for both of you. Start by focusing on one thing that needs improvement. Maybe it's communication, maybe it's how you spend time together, or how you handle conflict. Pick a small area to work on and commit to it. If you both focus on making gradual improvements, those small steps will add up to something huge. And here's the secret, this doesn't just apply to him. You also need to make changes. Relationships are a two-way street, and if you want him to meet you halfway, you've got to be willing to do the same. But here's the good news, you don't have to do this alone. You can both work at your own pace, making changes together, and this will naturally rebuild the emotional bond between you. Remember, this process isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's about taking consistent, small steps to rebuild your relationship on a new foundation. Keep going, even when it feels hard. Progress will happen, but it's not always a straight line. So, what's the bottom line? If your husband says it's over, it doesn't mean it has to be the end. There's still hope. With the right mindset and actions, you can begin to turn things around, and not just for the relationship, but for yourself, too. I want you to know that you are capable of making the changes needed. If you're feeling lost, confused, or unsure where to start, I encourage you to visit romancedictionary.com/marriage. There's a lot more information there that can help you take the right steps to reset your marriage. The link is in the description below. If this video was helpful, please make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications so you never miss out on the next step in resetting your relationship. Also, drop a comment below. Let me know what steps you're taking to rebuild your marriage, and how I can support you further. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.